Entrepreneurship is neither science nor an art.
The ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit.
It's a practice.
We had about 50 stores and still were not making money. And I think we all realized at the time that we were not in the coffee business serving people, but we were in the people business serving coffee.
But how true is this?
If there's one thing that Amazon.com is about, it's obsessive attention to the customer experience, end to end. It doesn't matter to me whether we're a pure internet player. What matters to me is to provide the best customer service. Internet, schminternet.
How much information can we get from a course or learning from someone instead of doing it ourselves? Today we're going to look at 5 practices you can apply to your real life to see how true this statement is. The first principle, focusing on opportunities rather than resources. Throughout our journey in entrepreneurship, we're going to be faced with resource constraints. True entrepreneurs are able to focus on the opportunities they're given, regardless of the resources they're handed. Entrepreneurs don't get caught up in what they don't have. They're constantly looking for gaps in the market, looking for ways to innovate things that haven't been done before. They're truly looking for opportunities constantly. By orienting their mindset this way, these entrepreneurs are able to align their ventures with genuine market need. Usually, by following this principle, the resources will eventually follow. Let's use a real-world example. Let's use the visionary behind Starbucks, Howard Schultz. In 1981, he visited a modest coffee shop in Seattle. This sparked the vision for not only just an ordinary coffee shop, but a communal interactive space for people. So in 1983, he visited coffee bars in Italy. He became inspired by their coffee bars and wanted to implement this into America. Now, although he didn't recreate the exact Italian experience, see today how big Starbucks is, and it truly revolutionized coffee. Now, it might be easy to say Schultz had the resources, he had the time, and he had the safety to pursue something like the Starbucks project. Maybe you have bills to pay, you have deadlines to meet, you have people to take care of, right? Your family does come first. However, this is just an example to give you the type of mindset you need to develop. Identifying gaps in the market, looking at other markets and what you can bring to your own community. While these concerns are valid, even in the busiest times, I want you to have the mindset of looking, what value can I create? What gaps in the market can I bridge? And doing this will help you make more money. So, practical tip, switch to an opportunistic mindset. Take a week and look at every small and large business you go into. Look at how they arrange the place. Ask yourself, what is their primary offering? Who are their target audience? What need are they filling? Get in the mindset of seeing how opportunities can be created instead of just consuming. Next time you're on your smartphone, look at all the apps you have. Ask yourself, what are they offering? How are they making money from this? What can I learn from this? So the second principle, creating customer value. So oftentimes finding this great opportunity is just the first step. The next thing we need to ask ourselves is, what value am I creating for the customer? So what does this really mean? It's more than just creating a product. It's about fulfilling unmet needs for the customers and reshaping the perspectives around your product, service, or business. So this can be as easy as just making a product easier to use, easier to get, or even making a service more comfortable. Not all successful businesses and entrepreneurs are making groundbreaking initiatives. Real-world examples. Let's look at Uber and Airbnb. Uber has identified the need for reliable, on-demand transport. They have literally revolutionized the private and public transport sector. Uber has single-handedly revolutionized what it means to get a taxi or private transport from point A to point B. Think about this. You can travel anywhere in the world without speaking the language and use Uber with just your smartphone. Now let's talk about Airbnb. They have single-handedly revolutionized the short-term rental and hotel business. Airbnb saw an opportunity for unique, local, and affordable lodging. Airbnb is more than just a business. They're a symbol. They showed us how much value can really be given to customers using their innovative approach. They have literally changed the landscape of short-term renting and letting. Practical tip. Always ask yourself, what value is my service providing to my customers? What value is my product providing to customers? How can I better my product to create more value for my customers? How can I improve my product or service to meet the evolving needs of my customers? By doing this, you position yourself not just as a business person, but a visionary. You're able to adapt to the ever-changing market needs. The third principle, disciplined financial management. It doesn't matter how good your idea is. If you don't have good control over your finances, your business is doomed to fail. Financial management is the cornerstone of every business. What does this mean? This means you need to be strategic and forward-thinking. With every important financial decision, you need to ask yourself, is this going to grow the business? What am I doing with all my money? Where do I want my money spent? And you need to keep track of every cent you spend. Real world example. Let's use Uber again. Uber initially operated at substantial losses. So Uber's strategy to many seemed counterproductive at the start. How could a successful company burn through millions and still be losing money? But Uber saw a different picture. They looked beyond this, the larger scale. Uber's strategy involved creating a large market share. They dominated cities worldwide and then utilized this to leverage this network to their advantage. So although initially they were spending lots of money on marketing and driver incentives, it was a calculated gamble. So once they captured this market share and created a dominant presence, they could reduce their operational costs, reduce driver incentives, and move towards profitability. So this was Uber's financial approach. And this approach allowed them to create such a large market share that they have revolutionized public and private transport. Practical tip. So for you aspiring entrepreneurs, whether you're managing your own personal savings or handling money from investors, friends, or family, always keep track of your finances. You want to know where you're getting your money from and where it's being spent. You need to be forward thinking, have a strategy, and have reasons why you want to allocate money in this area versus another. By keeping track of your expenses, you'll be able to, in the future, review where your money is being spent. This is really important if you need to diversify your funds or if a new opportunity arises. The fourth principle, creating your own journey. Now it's a bit cliche to say, but if you don't spend time working on your own dreams, you'll end up building someone else's. So if you imagine a world where every single person follows what they're told, they don't push expectations, they don't push the boundaries of what the norms are, what would that world look like? Progress would be very slow, innovations few and far between. We wouldn't have access to amazing things like the internet today. So what does this principle mean? It simply means taking control of your life, forging your own path instead of following someone else's. Quite literally, creating your own future. Real world example. Let's take Steve Jobs and Apple. Steve Jobs didn't just work on existing technologies to improve them. He quite literally reimagined them. He first started with the iPod, revolutionizing music consumption, and then moved on to Macs. And then, of course, today everyone knows Smartphones. He literally reimagined what it is to have a smartphone. So Steve Jobs didn't just respond to market demands. He single-handedly redefined them. He had a vision to provide products that people didn't even know they wanted. He provided products people couldn't have envisioned existed at that time. So Steve Jobs devoted his whole life to creating Apple and working at Apple. And today, Apple is one of the largest companies in the world. Practical tip: you don't need to spend your whole life devoted to creating an innovative product like Steve Jobs, nor would you want to. What you can do is devote at least 1 hour a day working on your own business, executing your own plan, figuring out how you want to spend your life and what you want to be doing it. Is it financial freedom, a large-scale business, a dream job? It's up to you. You can start small like most entrepreneurs, with a side hustle, constantly learning every day, honing what you want to work, and eventually you will find something that will stick. If you don't, 5 years, 10 years from now, you'll look back and you will be in the same position you were. So on your journey through entrepreneurship, you're going to realize there are things you can't control. 1, you can't control the cards you've been dealt. You can't control if your parents were born rich, if you were born rich, if you're given exceptional talent. These things you can't control. The only thing you can control is how consistent you are. How much effort are you putting in? And do you have a plan for what you want to do? So while your ideas may be spontaneous, the actual conversion of these ideas to actual assets has a systematic approach. So think of this blueprint for your entrepreneurial journey as a blueprint for a building. You have to know what structure the building is built on. You have to know what you want the building to look like. Now, although it's not that straightforward for entrepreneurship, putting in consistent effort and having an idea of what you want to do is a start. Real-world example, let's look at Amazon. When Jeff Bezos set out to capture audiobooks and physical books on the online space, he didn't just envision an online bookstore. He wanted to conquer this space. It became the most customer-centric book platform there was at the time. So many of you don't know, but Jeff Bezos actually started this business in his garage. After he captured the online book space, he moved to e-commerce on a whole, and then the rest was history. Amazon is the largest e-commerce website and has revolutionized how we shop online. So Jeff Bezos had a plan. He strategically started with the online book space, conquering this market, and then he moved to conquer the entire e-commerce platform. He took products one by one and dominated that space. Practical tip: when you start your entrepreneurial journey, it might be hard to know exactly what you want. One thing that's helped me is having an end goal in mind. And doing this, try to not compare yourself with others. Only you have your unique circumstances and your unique wants out of life. On your journey, have a goal you want to do. Short term, mid term, and long term. Don't compare yourself to other people. Your journey is your own. Start by breaking down your goals into actionable steps. You don't need to be extraordinary, you just need to be consistent. Every day, try to learn something new on what business you want to do. Continuously seek knowledge, get a mentor. Doing this will bring you closer to your goals. So, I hope these stories inspired you, and please try not to compare yourself because you have unique circumstances and you have different goals. I hope these 5 principles helped you to be the best entrepreneur you can be. And if you want to see more videos, stay tuned. Thank you. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I really want to thank you for watching. And please follow me on Dr. Moneymaker on all platforms. I really enjoy making these videos. I want to give you guys more content. Peace.